No. So hello everyone, I hope you are doing well, and as you can see I'm here in the park with my wife and kid, and there are several other kids here, usually with some grandparents and kids here, and this is really nice, the kids can play. And today I'm going to tell you about tips in France. So how is it? Tips in France, how is it? So you're coming to France, you are going to live in France, and you should know that in France there is a tip culture. You need to give tips. But the things are, so when do you need to give tips? In the restaurant you need to give some tips. In the coffee place you need to give some tips. When you get food delivery you need to give some tips. Now, as for the rest, in the taxi you don't have to give any tips. Nobody gives tips in the taxi. If you go to the cinema or if you go to the theater, traditionally people would give tips. Now less and less people give tips, but sometimes it's up to you. If you want, you can give. If you don't want, you don't have to. And that's about it. So just remember, you need to give tips in the coffee place, you need to give tips in the restaurant, you need to give tips for the delivery, food delivery. Maybe food delivery is up to you, but it's always better. And now, why do you need to give tips? I'm not sure why for the restaurant, for the coffee place, but that's just how it is, and it has always been this way. As for food delivery, usually we say that these guys who deliver the food, they are young people, students, they don't get paid a lot. Then it's a tradition to give them some tips, but some people don't give, some people give. It really depends. Now in the theater, these guys who lead you to your seat. So when you go to the theater, some people will fetch you and lead you to your seat, and they usually didn't get any salary, didn't receive any salary, so they would just get paid by the tips. Now about the amount, how much do you need to give? In France, it's not the same as in the US. I believe in the US, I went there a few times, it was many years ago. I remember once I took a taxi, I didn't leave him any tips, and I think it is something really bad to do. And in the US, I believe taxis are very cheap, and most of the money that they can earn will come from the tips. In France, this is not the case. You don't need to give so much tips. You can just leave, for instance, you just leave a small percentage, maybe 5% of the total bill, or 10% of the total bill, 5%. So it shouldn't be so high. If you take a coffee, it should be a few cents. You don't need to leave very big tips. Just a small tips is fine. You should know that it's bad if you give too much tip, because then it will change the way, the perception of the people. And I see quite often, I heard some French people complain, oh, look at these tourists, they give too much tips, and after we look mean, and this is bad for us. The waiter are accustomed to receive some tips, and so you shouldn't leave too much tips. You should just follow the rules of the country. You should just do it as it is. So I forgot one more thing about the hotel. Yes, about in a very big hotel, 5-star hotel, you have someone who will come. 4-star hotel in France is maximum 4-star hotel. As compared to the other countries, you can get 5-star, but in France it's always 4-star is the maximum. So in this 4-star hotel, you have someone who will come and lead you to your room, maybe deliver the food, fetch your suitcase, put your suitcase in your room. Then yes, it's up to you. You should probably leave him some tips, but that's only for the very wealthy among you who are going to some 4-star hotel. So yes, in this case, yes, you can also leave some tips. And that's what I want to tell you today, and that's something that you should know when you are here in France. So as you can see, I'm here in the park. So there's not so many people, because it's during the week, and during the week people work. So or if they don't work, they need to take care. Maybe some people don't work, but they will take care of the kids. So it's quite empty here, in fact. And I will leave you for now. I will talk to you next time. So take care, everyone. See you next time.